Guys been wanting me to change the theme song sound quality, but I'm gonna keep the same song, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. The time she plays them, and she does that. She does it with the cat. Does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Crazy Cat does not own any of these pictures or books or pictures. I use them under fair use for educational purposes, so the people who watch them learn a little bit something when they do it. Hopefully that fixed the audio. Like Solly did all those years ago. No, I don't want to do this. I'm scared of this thing. Be more of it. Hi everyone, Martha here. I saw Sinners yesterday. It was kind of late when I watched it finally, so I wanted to sleep before I did a review on it. It's now available on Max, so I didn't have to see it in theaters. Too much out there right now, but yep, it's on Max right now if you weren't aware. So yeah, this movie does have a little bit in common with Dawn of the Dead, because half of it tells a different story and the other half it tells a story about vampires. So, because it starts off with two gangsters played by Michael B. Jordan and their cousin Sammy, who is a preacher's son. And they want to have a party in a barn and only allow like people they consider family. But I guess it's supposed to also represent. It's not only about their music. It's supposed to, because at the very beginning of the movie, it talks about how music can invite in the devil, and the vampires are supposed to represent the devil part of it. So yeah, and there is foreshadowing a lot before the party happens. Like first, his dad warns him not to go to the party. And also, right when they get to the alcohol, there is snakes. There's a snake right inside of the truck, waiting for them. As also as a foreshadowing, because you can count. Because what did the Lucifer turn into to lure Eve to eat the apple? A snake. So there's your other sign of the devil right there. Being let in. So I do like there's a lot of foreshadowing before we get to the party. Very cool, just in the detail. And I do like how good Michael B. Jordan plays at doing two different roles in this movie. So much so, I don't remember which one's which, especially when they removed the hats later on, because Smoke is the one that wears blue and Stack's the one that wears red. But at the party, they lose their hats, so you have to remember where one is at the whole entire time after they remove their hats when they get to the party, because they remove their hats. But mostly, Stags is the one who dates one who likes his old buddy's girlfriend. Smoke is the one who he's trying to keep Mary out of the party because he got her married to somebody else, because they are trying to make sure that none of the people who lived there followed them back to Chicago, because they know how dangerous Chicago is, because they worked for Al Capone, because while they're out getting their friends to party members out, a lot of them keep on saying, hey, we want to go back with you. We want to be with you. But Mary and Sammy both want to go with them, but he says, no, you are better safe here. But it turns out that they're not better safe here, because there's a clan here. Because the people that they buy the barn from tells them, don't worry about it. The clan's dead. But the truth is, no, the clan is not dead. Because right when the vampire shows up, right when they get all the members, they go and get the guard. We're supposed to guard the door. get the doctor, go tell the doctor, so in case something bad happens, get them, and get everybody who wants to play music, they all want to play the harmonica. So after they get a party all started, well, we have the vampire comes down, who is an Irishman. He go talks to two members of the clan, and we know that they're clan members because we see their white robes on the chairs. So, and I knew that was when I saw those robes that those guys are clan members. He asks to be let in because in a lot of folk different lores out there, vampires have to be invited in. A lot of you forget that, but including myself, back when I was trying to write a book, I forgot myself, so guilty as charged. And the Native Americans, who were back at this time period when they were called Indians, comes, knocks on the door after one of the clan members has already been turned, the husband, and the wife answers, and they both are they're both like very hostile because they both like show their like big shotguns to everybody because they don't trust anybody. And the Native Americans know that what's inside there, and they try to warn them, do not let them in, but you might already had let them in. But so it's too late, and that's what we see of those guys. But they're also kind of a bit of foreshadowing because they're the ones who like allude to the problem at hand, and knowing that it might have already been too late. The vampires made more vampires, and then the party starts. We have a couple of like music numbers, but the part that is a little bit wild out of it is because when Sammy starts playing guitar, we have where they like show music through the air, because this movie is supposed to take place 1932, and at this part of the movie, it shows guitars, costumes, dance moves, and people are like playing different music from. They were like playing different styles of music during this part, so it was a little bit confusing. And also, yeah, the fact that the barn was on fire at the very end of the movie, but I guess that's also like supposed to like signifies in the near future this barn will burn down. But because it does call on fire by the end of the movie, but it does not burn down the whole entire way. And right when after that music's done playing, the vampires come. But let's signify that both Stag and Smoke have fun with their ladies. They try to get Mary to leave because she keeps on asking to go with Smoke. And after Sammy starts playing, Sammy says, "I want to go with you guys back to Chicago," and he says, "Nope, you stay here because we do not want you to lose your innocence, since he's supposed to be like the innocent one here. But to me, Gary lost his innocence earlier that night because he had fun with a married woman. So he's no longer innocent. But yeah, but they just don't want nothing bad to happen to him if they fall back to Chicago. This is when they show up, and their bodyguard supposed to like make sure. They tell them to go and get twins, and they know that we don't know you. Tell them to like leave, even though they have money, and they can play very good blues music, but they ain't falling for that. So they tell them no, go get. And Mary offers to go out there and get the money from them and see if they're trustworthy. But this is when one of them gets bit, Because if she didn't go out there, the party would have been perfectly fine, and all of them would have been still been alive, and everybody would. But the thing is, then the movie would have. The rest of the movie would have happened. Okay, once they show up, that's the Chekhov's gun. So the lesson's not learned for Sammy, since he's the one that survives this movie. Smoke makes it pretty far. He survives the night, but Sam is supposed to be the one that doesn't get bit or anything. But the devil still follows him home. And Mary gets bit after she takes the gold from the devil. Gets the gold from the vampire, since he is Irish and he has Irish gold. And asks them if they want me and see if they can get let in still. But Mary gets back in, but she's already one of them. And she goes after Stag. And Stag was thought they were like making love, but they were not. Well, Smoke thought they were making love, and so was Sammy. Because Sammy walked in on them because a guy that they had to beat up, and she tells Sammy to go and get him, and he's like, nope, I'm not gonna go and get him. Like, I don't care what he's doing, go get him. When they find out that poor Stag was bit, and they try to kill Mary, but she gets right back up because they did not use the right proper equipment to kill a vampire. Guns don't work on them unless they're like wooden ones. So yeah, wooden bullets. So he ends up running back out there, but it's too late. Stag's been bit, and so let me find out what her name is, since she's about to become very important. Annie, the one that Smokes with, ends up is the one that knows a lot about vampires and knows the harmonica guy, Dolan, thought that they were skinwalkers, which are a Native American folklore creature that eats is a cannibal. But Annie knows the difference between both of them. It's because this one only drank blood and did not try to eat Smoke. So try to eat Stag, and so she knows how to beat them, because she makes the ones that are not, because they had a lot of them were told to leave after they find out what happened to Stag, and the ones that were left, she makes sure they have that she has garlic, and so she makes the ones that are left in the barn eat garlic to test to see if any of them are vampires. So yeah, and they all passed, even though Dallin is coughed after a little bit. That's because he had too much alcohol. So the ones who are left in the barn, we got Caroline, Grace, Sammy, Smoke, and Annie. Those are the ones who are left inside the barn. Grace's husband went to go and get the car, who are the doctors, who is Chaslon. Went to go and get the car, so he went out there and came one of them. And we do after they do the little vampire test, we hear them all playing music back there, and I do like this part because they have the head vampire doing river dancing. But he's doing it with boots, because only time I ever see them do river dancing is with those cool tap shoes, but I guess it's hard to do that on the dirt. You can't make it tap like they do, but also you can't really do that with boots. But it's really cool that he was doing river dancing to music. So yeah, but all of them are now vampires, and they're all are all attached to him, because he's the one that pretty much turned the clan members, and they turn the people at the dance party, and so they're all connected to him. So if anything bad happens to him, they die too. So eventually, I don't know how they get invited in, because around this time period, after they test, they just come right into the barn, because they head to the barn, and all of a sudden they're able to open the door and come in. That made no sense. I did not hear like anybody say, "Come on in." So yeah, like, I mean, so maybe one of them did, but that was a little bit confusing to me. And also, I didn't like the fact that he already knew Sammy's name when he like realized this is all my fault because my dad told me not to come. He told me because the devil might follow me home, and then all of a sudden the vampire knew his name. So what did all his dancing friends tell him his name, and then he spoke Mandarin to Laura Grace out there and warned her that they're gonna go kill the daughter because they have two different pharmacists that they run in town, and the daughter is home alone, and she's gonna lose both her kids, both her dads, both their parents. I mean, tonight, because they went to the party. But I understand. I just really wish that they would like had a scene where they showed them telling all this stuff, because I guess they're trying to signify how old he is for him knowing Mandarin, so that's kind of fine. But the whole entire thing that he knows Sammy's name, which they like had a scene where one of them told them that was his name, because unless he knows how to read minds, kind of weird. But they get let in still, and this is when pretty much the rest of them get turned, except for Smoke and Sammy don't get turned. Sammy gets thrown out into the water, and he's holding his guitar. And he keeps like dunking him, like he's trying. The vampire keeps like grows like big long hands, like he's freaking Dracula or no one from 1922's vampire, because he had long hands too eventually. Bela Lugosi, yeah, that one. He's like throwing him into the water. He like scratches Sammy, and like leaves this big mark, and he like keeps that mark, that scar for the rest of his life. Because later on at the end of the movie we see him in 1995 or something like that in Chicago, and he's playing music, signifying he got his wish and got to go to Chicago. But he's forever marked by the devil, looks like. But this is when he hits him with his guitar, and since his guitar is made of steel, it hurts him, and the rest of the vampires they feel his pain because they're connected to him, and this is when the sun comes up and they all burn. So, and also he saved Annie from being turned into one, because Annie tells him tell Smoke not to let me get turned. Right when I get hurt, kill me, because I have my old husband to be with. So, and I don't want to be left here and not be able to be with him. So yeah, Smoke did what she told him, what he told her to do, and he killed her right when Stag bit her. And Smoke tells Sammy to go home, because right before they got let in, the vampires told him that the clan members tricked them, and they were going to come and kill them the next day. Anyway, this was supposed to be a trap, basically. And so it's up to Smoke to kill all the clan members, which he does, because he has two different guns, a machine gun, and one that he can shoot from long distance. So yeah, and he decides to kill all the clan members. They don't dress up as clan members because none of them are wearing the robes, but that's fine, I guess. Like, it really matters. And he ends up killing all of them but the one that he bought the barn from, and asks him for Smoke because he got hit, and he knows he's gonna bleed out, and he's starting to see Annie, and she has a baby, but he ends up killing the head clan member after that, and he ends up dying because he takes the baby. So, and then we see at the beginning of the movie again where Sammy comes home covered in blood. The guitar's broken, and his dad keeps telling him to put the guitar down, even though it's broken. Go back to her being with God, but nope. Sammy leaves and goes to Chicago, 1995. So I did like this movie's good and a little bit wild at times, but I think it's supposed to be. And a couple times I didn't exactly explain everything, but what are you gonna do? So since nothing's ever perfect, so I'm probably gonna give it like an 8 out of 10. See you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe, and bye bye.